nearby just in case.
I'll go get it. Sorry. Anyway, start. Don't wait for me. Start.
Okay. All right. Right. So we want to focus today on the priority list of where. So start sitting of where of the flex of the the priority list of the actions. And I think focusing as well on if you can't do something in one way, so sitting like this in an L is the same as lying on the floor like that, which is also the same as the down dog like that, or on your hands and knees. It's all about a 90-degree bend at the pelvis. So if we can do that action fine in certain positions, we've got to work out what the limiting factor is, and that's what is different for everybody. So for Anne and Jane, you're both restricted in your hip or in the leaning forward, but they're for different reasons. So we've got to try to work on closing that area down, so that then when you come to standing and walking, that flexibility is not the limiting factor of why you end up overworking your back, for example. Right, so sitting up on our mats here. So we'll try and get into a bit of standing at the end. So we first of all just wake the body up. So rocking from side to side on that pelvis and pushing the seat bones into the ground. So push the right side, push the left side. Push the right side, push the left side, come to the middle position. So we've got even weight on each leg. So now I want to tilt the pelvis forwards and backwards. So I'm going to bend the knees a bit and pull my tummy button to my thighs. So Jane, pull your knees as high as you need, so that you go right forward onto your front bottom, onto the front side of your pelvis. So the pelvis is at a 45-degree angle pointing forwards is what we're aiming for. So I open my legs and pull my knees apart, then I can pull my body through my legs more. And then I'll leave my legs there and come vertical. So I'm rotating the pelvis on the floor. Then I'm going to lean back, and now I'm on my tailbone. And then I can hold onto my legs and I can pull myself up to vertical. And then I can hold onto my thighs or shins and pull myself forward, so that I'm rotating that hip joint. I'm closing it down, bringing it up to what would be 90 degrees if my legs were flat, and then leaning myself back. So then you feel your tummy muscles have to work. Okay, so coming back up. So first of all, we're going to move that, get that back all mobilizing. So leaving the knees soft, just slump your body backwards and stretch through that back. So pushing all the vertebrae and discs out behind us, stretching and opening. So visualize that that you're trying to get air between the back, through the back edges of all of your discs and vertebrae. So are you feeling the same amount of push? So go from the tailbone, same amount of push through the lower back, through the middle back, through the upper back, and through that neck. And then reach those arms forward. And then leaving the legs as they are, sit yourself up a bit vertically. And then we can use the floor. So we're going to put our fists on the floor and push the chest forward and take the chin up to the sky and squeeze those shoulders together. So we're really stretching, and now we're opening the front of the vertebra and discs, stretching through all of them, through the tummy, through the middle, through our waist, through our ribs, and through our neck. And then breathing in, and on the out breath, put the hands on the knees, so you've got some support, and then round that back. And then you can just let the knees flop down if they want to. And then with the hands on the shins, as you know, we'll do one more opening. So let the knees come soft again. So my knees lift up, hands, the fists go on the floor, so my knuckles are on the ground. I use them to push that tummy button forward, lifting it up, lifting the breastbone up, chin up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, breathing in, and then breathing out. Hands on the legs, and this time rounding back. then now we're going to just slide the body forward. So keeping the knees bent, bring that body forward and bring the tummy button onto the legs. So I've rocked the whole body forward. So Jane, roll forward so your tummy's onto your thighs more. Yeah, that's better. That's better. And feel the stretch through the lower back. Then sit yourself up nice and tall. Hands on the floor, and we can put the hands a bit further behind on the floor. Elbows are soft. Squeeze those elbows together and then push off those arms, make them straight, push your chest up, let the head come back. Squeeze those shoulders together, breathing in and then breathing out, release. Rest those hands on your legs. Let your legs come a bit, let them come as straight as they can. Put the left hand on the right knee, right hand behind, and then we push off that right hand and make the body straight and turn and look over the right shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out. I'm pushing off my left arm to help myself turn all the way around, but I'm staying in column. And then release, and then put the right hand on the left knee, left hand behind. Push off that left hand and then turning with the right hand, looking over that left shoulder, breathing in, breathing out. And then come back to center. And then rolling those shoulders. Grab your roller or your squishy ball. So we're limited, the limiting factor for a lot of this bending to start with is the thoracic spine, is tension in your upper back. And that comes, especially as we get older, comes from leaning forward. We start to collapse at the top, which is why we shrink as we get older.
Oh.
Okay, so leaning back onto that roller. So I'm going to go back onto my elbows and rest on the lower part. So I always start the same way with these workouts or these sessions. So we're just going to lean back and then we're just going to stretch over the ball or the roller, whichever it is you've got. And then we're going to bring the chin back up into the chest and lift ourselves back up. And then we're going to move the ball up, the roller or ball up a little bit. And then we're just going to hold onto the head, support the neck and extend backwards over and lift up. And then we're going to move again. So I listened to a very interesting webinar the other day about exercising. It was about running into your 50s and 60s and 70s. And it was all about doing less, but exercising correctly and lift up. And it was about how, as we get older, we lose muscle and the importance of doing this kind of training and strength work to keep that muscle strong. Okay, we're laying flat on the roller now. Lift the bum up and just roll the roller up to the neck and down towards the lower ribs, and then slowly bringing it up. Because as we lose strength, as we get older, we're then going to fatigue quicker. So we have to allow more time for recovery to avoid injury. And this is why we get a lot of people with a lot of injuries in their 50s and 60s, because they're still exercising as if they were 20. So pulling up and down.
No fear of us doing that.
And then rolling through that. Well, it's interesting because even if you went for 2 days worth of long walks and then you did your Pilates and go onto the left side slightly, you might find that you did something in Pilates that hurt, but actually it wasn't due to the Pilates that you were sore. It was because you'd done 2 long walks the previous days, and so your muscles are fatigued, and then you've done, go onto the right side of it, and then you do your Pilates, and that is just the trigger but it's compounded by what you've done before.
Yeah.
Okay, rest your bum on the floor, sit yourself up, and we're going to roll over onto the right hand side, bring the roller into the side. We're going to do just up and down through the armpit. So going down to the bottom of the shoulder blade, I'm on my right. So at the bottom of the shoulder blade, I'm just going to rock forwards and backwards and move through that. So there are things that I think need to be done every time in these sessions. you know, it should be done in the basically the beginning of these exercise sessions. I start the same because it's stuff that I think needs to be done on a regular basis. So rocking forwards and backwards as we roll through that armpit, and just get those any little knots and lumps and bumps. So try to be a bit straighter. So try not to curve forward. So Jane, get your pubic bone, tummy button, breastbone are in a line. So we're going straight over the roller. And support your head on your arm if you want. And then go all the way down to the bottom of that shoulder blade. And all the way back through it again.
Oh, crikey.
And then you can rest your bum on the floor and tilt your body back a little bit. So we go just up the back side of the side of the back. And then go all the way flat onto your back and do the ribs again. So you have to kind of lift yourself up because you get thrown around on the roller. And then rest your bottom on the floor and turn onto that left-hand side. And rest the roller on the bottom ribs. And we're just going to gradually inch it up into that armpit. And then when you get it into the armpit, you're just going to rock forwards and backwards. Forwards and backwards in that armpit area. And then rocking down, inch it down, all the way back down to the bottom of that shoulder blade. And then roll it all the way through that armpit again. And all the way down to the bottom ribs. And then just rocking forwards and backwards. So notice if they feel different, your shoulders and arms, or if they feel the same. And then rest your bum on the floor. Bring your arm back down, rest it on the roller. You can support your head, and we're just going to roll down that left-hand side, as in where I'm on my back, the left side of my back. And then we are going to pop the bum on the ground, bring the chin into the chest, and relief, I hear you will say, as we hop up and sit up, hop off that roller. So, sitting up nice and tall, so we really want to work on that. We're going to work a bit on this upper back. So rolling those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Rolling them up to the ears, down and back. Put the fingers on the floor behind, about half a foot behind you, and then lean back onto the palms of your hands, wiggle your elbows, and then push your arms to straight. So this is a good one for you, Anne. Push that chest up to the sky and straighten those elbows. So I'm trying to get a big gap here under my armpit. So I'm trying to get my elbows behind. Yeah, so Jane, chest up high. Breathing in, breathing out, push the chest forward. So you can have your knees soft if you want. And try to push the tailbone into the ground, push those seat bones into the ground. Pushing and lifting, elbows straight. Breathing in, breathing out, and then release. Push off those fingers. So we're rolling onto the front bottom, so knees can stay bent. Hold onto those legs and pull yourself forward. So we're mobilizing that spine, bending it forwards, and then lifting ourselves up nice and tall, and we're going to bend it backwards. Fingers on the floor, palms on the floor, elbows come straight, push that chest forward, drawing the core, reaching, so we're stretching through the breastbone, not through the lower back. Lifting up with that chest. And then releasing and rolling forwards one more time. So we release that lower back in case it's got a bit stressed. And sit up nice and tall. Bring those arms up to horizontal. And now we're going to roll all the way down to the floor. So breathing in. On the out breath, flatten the pelvis. Shoulders back. Push the fingers forward. Get that waistband down onto the floor. Waistband, mum, before you take your shoulders any further. And then lower all the way down. Bring those arms all the way over the head. Reach and push those fingers away from the toes. So you're stretching through those shoulders, stretching through those legs, keep that back flat on the ground, don't let your tummy lift up, and then bring your arms all the way down by your side, roll those shoulders up to the ears into the floor, put your hands and your fingertips under your top of your leg and push off the elbows, lift that chest up off the sky, up off the floor, up to the sky. So breathing in, breathing out, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Breathing in, fill those lungs up with air and stretch those ribs. Breathing out, squeeze the shoulder blades and then release and lower the back onto the ground. So bring the right knee in towards your body and squeeze that knee up towards your shoulder. So this is the same action that you did rolling forward, and bring the left knee up. So now we've got our back flat on the ground, so shoulder blades down. Get those ribs on the floor, so we should be able to do that from all that rollering. Upper rib, sorry, middle rib, bottom rib, and then flatten that lower back into the ground and lift the tailbone up. And now turn the tailbone down to the floor and arch that lower back, but keep the ribs on the ground. Now keeping that lower back in that position, drawing the tummy by holding your tummy in. So you're going to draw your tummy in, and then you're going to pull the knees towards your armpits, but they're not going to go very far. So now you're working at the flexibility of that joint, but you've got no restriction from the hamstrings. The tummy muscles are holding that, and the back muscles are holding the pelvis straight. And you're closing down that gap. Now release those knees away, keeping the torso still. So I don't want a little bit of movement in your lower back. I want no movement in it. So draw the tummy muscles in, pull the knees towards you without letting the back sink to the floor. So you're flexing that hip joint. And then release the knees, still holding them with your hands, but just release them away a bit. So you're opening the hip joint. Now pull those knees in, push the tailbone down, lengthen the back of the body, or the spine rather, keeping those shoulders up to the ears, back and down. And now release that lower back and let the tailbone lift up and the back rounds. And then go back. Let the knees come above the hip. Push the tailbone down. Get that lower back slightly elevated. So we've got the pelvis is horizontal. Pull the knees towards you and then take the knees apart. So we're going to do the inner thigh. So pulling those knees apart, keeping those shoulders back and down. Now push the knees in towards the hands as if you're trying to bring them together without letting the hands move. Breathing in, breathing out. Now release on those hands or on those legs and let the legs flop a bit further apart. Making sure you've still got that lower back slightly elevated. And then bring those knees back together. Right, hold behind the legs. Hold behind the legs. So I've got my knees bent. I've got my shoulders up to the ears, back and down. I've got my ribs all on the ground. Actually, first of all, let's put the right foot on the ground and the left foot on the ground. Put your fingers on the pelvis, on that ridge at the edge, and then trace your fingers through to your pubic bone. So the bony bit on the side of the front of your hip and your pubic bone, that wants to be horizontal to the floor, that triangle. Pubic bone out to each side and across. That triangle needs to be horizontal to the floor to be a neutral spine. So you'll find that your tailbone is down to the floor further than you think. Now draw that tummy in and lift that right knee up. Take hold of it. Draw it in harder and lift the left knee up. So there's no tilting of that pelvis. So this is the thing for your lower back. This is what you've got to work on to stay stable there. So hold behind those legs and straighten that right leg into the sky. So that is like sitting, and then straighten the left leg into the sky. That's like sitting with our legs out straight in front and our back straight. So you can feel the tension, how hard it is to get those legs straight. Yeah, it's muscular, but also so you've got muscle tension in your quads and then tension in your hamstring. So bend that left knee, bend that right knee. So we're able, joint-wise, to be at 90 degrees. So now we can see where the area is we need to stretch. Pull the right leg up straight. Pull the left leg up straight. Bend the right leg down, bend the left leg down. Now pop your left foot on the ground, hold behind your right leg and straighten that right leg up into the sky. Pull the toes towards your nose, point the toe away. Pull the toe down, you can feel the fascia moving up and down that leg. Point the toe away. Pull that leg towards you a bit with the toe pointed away. Pull the toe towards you. So all this stretching, I'm giving you the goal, but the stretching wants to be point the toe to a sort of 60% intensity. Pull the toe down. So we don't want to go, we definitely don't want to be up at 90% because we don't want any injury. Bend that knee and pull that knee closer. So we pull it in towards the chest a bit more. Breathing in on the out breath, push that, try to pull the foot towards your face. You might want to hold behind your leg. You might want to, I haven't got a rope nearby, but you might want to put a rope over your foot or a towel over your foot. And then you can pull that leg towards you. So you change the area of stretch. And then release that leg, pop that leg back down on the floor. Now we just had that hip shut a bit, so let's straighten that leg out straight and feel the extension of those muscle cells. And then bring that knee back in and rest it next to the other foot. So bring that left leg up off the ground, keeping the neutral spine. Scan through your body. Shoulders are on the floor, top rib, middle rib, bottom rib. Lower back is slightly lifted. So we've got that neutral spine, and now we're going to push that foot straight into the sky and try to straighten that leg. So if you're not able to hold behind your thigh, I would suggest you had a towel or a rope or a dressing gown strap around your foot. Pull that the toes towards you. Point the toes away. Pull the toes towards you. And you can feel when you pull the toe towards you, it intensifies the stretch. Point the toes away. Bend that left knee and pull it down towards your chest more. And then try to pull the toes towards and try to pull the left foot over your face. So you're stretching a bit further. You can hold your calf if you can, and then pull that leg in and stretch through that hamstring. Okay, release that foot. Release that leg. Bend the knee down, pull the right leg so that both feet are off the floor. Lift those feet, lift both those feet up, and let's do circles with our feet all the way around to the left and all the way around to the right. And look at your feet and check they're moving the same way. And then point and flex. Take both toes to the left, take both toes to the right. And then bend your knees, drop the knees out to the side, away from each other. So we're doing the split. I've got my arms against my knees, arms out straight. Now push those knees in towards those arms. Breathing in, breathing out, release and let that hip open and stretch. Okay, relax that, pull those knees back, pop the feet to the floor, roll the shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Breathing in on the out breath, flatten the back, push through the heels, clench the bum and lift your hips up off the ground. Come up into the bridge, one vertebra at a time, all the way up. All the way up. So we're pushing into these hip flexors, clenching with the bottom. Stretching through, mobilizing that upper back spine. Now breathing in on the out breath. One vertebra at a time, all the way down, all the way back down to flat. Lengthen the head away from the tailbone. Arch the back at the bottom. Breathing in. Breathing out. Flatten the back. Clench the bum. Push through the feet. Lift your body back up off the floor. Keep the knees hip distance apart. Don't let them splay apart. Breathing in and on the out breath, lowering all the way down, one vertebra at a time, down to the ground. Breathing in at the bottom and then breathing out, Push through the heels, clench through the bum, lift all the way up off the ground. Hold yourself high. Bring your arms all the way over your head. Breathing in, and on the out breath, lower that body all the way down to flat. Arch the back at the bottom and bring those arms back down by the side. Breathing in on the out breath, clench the bum, lift the hips up off the ground, push those heels down towards the hands down to the heels. Bring those arms over the head. Breathing in on the out breath, lower the body down, keeping those arms flat on the floor, all the way down to flat, arching the back at the bottom. And then bringing those hands back down by the side. Okay, lengthen your left leg out straight, lengthen your right leg out straight. Let's look at engaging the core a little bit. So fingers are down towards the toes. So we've got those shoulders back and down, the chest is open. All of the ribs are flat on the floor. Flatten that lower back, arch that lower back. So it'll be easier to arch it than flatten it. Flatten it. And then lift it up a little bit so that you've got your pubic bone and the bony bits on the side of the hip are parallel to the ground. Right, the torso stays like that. So drawing the core in, clenching the bum, and you're going to lift that right leg straight up into the sky. And then you lower that right leg straight down to the floor. Breathing in on the out breath, lift that left leg straight up into the sky. Breathing out, lower that left leg straight down to the floor. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift up that right leg and lower it. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift up that left leg and lower it. Breathing in, lift up that right leg. Keep it there. And do a circle with that leg in the sky, all the way around clockwise. Go around twice. Keeping the pelvis still, keeping the back still. And then we do the go the other way, anti-clockwise. Twice anti-clockwise. Keeping those shoulders back and down. And then lower that leg back down to the floor, keeping all the ribs still, keeping that lower back slightly lifted. Breathing in on the out breath, lift that left leg straight up into the sky. Circles with that left leg. 2 circles to the left. And then 2 circles to the right. Good, and then lower that left leg down to the floor. And then bringing that right leg up into the sky. And then bringing that left leg up into the sky. So we're in that neutral spine position. Lower that right leg down to the floor, slowly lowering it down. And then bringing that right leg back up. Lower the left leg down. Good, we just do one, just lift that up. And then bend your knees. Hold on to your knees and bring those knees into your chest. Bring your nose to your knees and just release that. Release that. Okay, well done. Bring the nose to the knees one more time. And then get that spine into neutral. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Put the hands on the floor, reach them towards the feet. Knees are bent, feet are off the ground. Toes are pointed, and I'm going to lower my right leg, keeping the knee bent to touch that toe on the floor and lift it up. And I'm going to lower the left leg and touch the toe on the floor and lift it up. And lower the right leg, touch the toe on the floor and lift it. And lower the left leg, touch the toe down and lift. And lower the right leg, touch the toe on the floor, so lightly on the floor, don't put any weight on it, and extend that leg out straight, pushing it out on the ground. Breathing in, on the out breath, pull that leg back in and lift that knee back up. Do the other leg, rotate the leg, touch the toe on the floor, Extend that leg out straight, letting the hip really open. Bring that leg back in. Bring that knee back up. Breathing in on the out breath, right toe touches the floor. Slides away. Gets to the full extension. Comes back in. And lifts back up. Left leg, touch the toe to the floor. Make sure the knee stays in its track. Straighten that leg out. Don't let the knee roll in. It stays pointing up to the sky. Bring that knee up and the foot back in. Keep the knee pointing to the sky. Bring that leg back up. Okay, one more on the right. Touch the floor. Extend that leg out straight. Good. Draw that leg back in. Lift that leg back up. Take that left leg down to the floor. Keep that neutral spine. Shoulders back and down. Extend that left leg out. Using the core and bring that leg back in. And put both feet on the ground. Both toes are on the ground. Extend the leg out, keeping neutral spine. So just even though this is getting prepared for the next exercise, we've still got to do the actions correctly. So breathing in, bring those hands up pointing to the sky. Breathe out, chin into the chest and roll yourself all the way up to sitting. Reaching forward, so you're going to soften your knees. Once you come to vertical, you're going to soften the knees. Reaching right forwards, unless you can keep your legs straight. So Jane, can you get right onto your front bottom, Jane? So bend those knees up, yes. Tilt the pelvis more, so you rock onto the front of it. And then sit yourself, good Anne, sit yourself up nice and tall. So we just have a loosener, loosen those legs. Put the left hand on the right knee, right hand behind, and we're going to lift and turn. And then come back round to the front, right hand on left knee. And we're going to lift and turn that way. Okay, right, swing your legs around and come onto all fours. So bending that pelvis on all fours. Hands are under the shoulders, middle fingers are parallel. So if we turn the inside of the elbows forward, it pulls our shoulder blades down and back. Knees are under the hips. Pull those knees outwards on the mat and feel the glutes engage. Release the knees, let them just sit. Pull them outwards, feel how your bum engages. Keep those elbows turned forward. Release. Jane, push your chest forward so that you've got neutral spine, yeah? Pull those knees apart, and Sarah as well. Drop your chest down and open those shoulders up and release with those knees. Pull those knees outwards, lengthening. So visualize the pipes that come out through your pelvis where you wee and where you pass your food and everything. Visualize that they're all horizontal to the floor, so they're pushing straight out through the exits so that your pelvis is parallel to the floor. Okay, you're going to keep that pelvis like that and the spine like that, and you're going to glide the body backwards as if you're doing child pose, but you don't let the back go. So you glide back, chest down, Jane. Yeah, so you're in neutral. So look at me, Jane, for a sec. Hang on, so come back up onto all fours. So what I don't want is you going back like this with your back. You've got to stick your bottom out and you glide back like that. Yes, that's better. Good, Anne. Good, Sarah. Good, Max. Good, Mum. Good. So Sarah, chest down and forwards a bit more. Stretch the front of the body and then come back up onto all fours. Breathing in. On the out breath, stretch. So this is the same action as when you're sitting up tall and you're leaning forwards and you've rolled forward. So look at that. That's a good hip bend there, Jane. Can you get your tummy onto your thighs more? Push your chest forward. Good. And then come back up onto all fours. Good. So that's a really good one for increasing that flexibility. Right, okay, come onto your elbows and then onto your tummy. And then bring those arms down. Oh no, keep those arms by your side. So we're now going to push through the cobra. Just to get the upper back opening. We're just going to do cobra, not up dog. So we're going to keep those fingers near our eyes, elbows by our side, arms close to our side. Roll those shoulders up to the ears and pull them down. Clench the bum and push that into the floor and lengthen the legs. Draw the tummy in, so you lift that off the ground, breathing in, and on the out breath, lift that chest up off the floor without letting the tummy push into the ground, pushing off those elbows, so clenching the bum, and eventually you should be able to move the arms off the floor and hold yourself here with your bum. Release.
Really?
Yeah.
Lift the top of the body with the arms off the floor.
Yeah. So if I go like
No
this,
way.
clench my bum and push the pubic bone in the floor. Lift the tummy up. Push those arms into the floor, pushing off those bottom ribs, clenching the bum, and now I can move my arms off the floor, and I'm holding myself here.
Oh yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah, so you clench your bum and push in, bring those arms back, and you can push them in the floor and lift higher.
Do your legs move up as well?
Mine don't. So they might do just to balance you, but you've got to clench your bum more and push your pubic bone harder into the ground to stabilize your legs, and that holds your body.
Yeah, my feet come off the ground.
Yeah, so your thighs. So if you so rest down again. So if you clench your bum and tighten your thighs, you're making your legs straight. So your leg diameter is bigger at the top than at the bottom. So therefore your knees and feet will come off the ground if the center line of your leg is parallel to the floor. Okay. Yeah, so your feet come off the floor. So you clench really hard with the bum and push it in the ground, it will lift your feet up. So you've got to lift your tummy up, so that's stabilizing the lower back. And then you push off those forearms and you lengthen that upper body forward. So you're stretching through the chest, but your tummy's off the ground, and then you can lift those hands off the floor, and your legs, your torso from your ribs down to your feet should stay in the same position. And then release. But you have to push, you have to tighten your bum harder and your tummy tighter, because that's what's holding you. Okay, breathing in. One more like that. Breathing out, clench the bum, draw in the tummy, push those hands in the floor. So also while you're in this position, if you visualize you're pushing your head far away from your feet, lengthening your body, pushing off those arms, drawing the tummy in, then you take your hands off the floor and you hold yourself here.
Oh, God.
And then release and lower back down. Okay, so now we're going to do the rotation of the upper body, but we're not lifting the head. So rest the head on the ground, drawing in the tummy and clenching the bum. So we're doing a halfway house. Lift those hands and forearms up off the ground and lengthen the head and neck. And then release those hands and forearms down. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift those hands and forearms up, pointing the toes, lengthening the head from the toes, drawing the tummy in, and lowering those hands down. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift those hands and forearms up. Now lift the whole arm up. You've got a tight tummy, clenching with that bum, and you lift those arms up higher and then ease a bit. Lift them up higher and ease. Lift them up higher and ease. So we're doing the pulsing. We do it 3 times. 2, 1, and rest everything back down. Oh. Good, well done. Big breath in, big breath out. So roll the shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky and down. Hold them there. So I can mess around with my forearms. I've got my palms up at the minute. I'm going to clench my bum and lengthen my legs. So push the pubic bone hard in the ground. Draw that tummy in. Now I'm going to push the toes from the top of my head. So my head is actually light on the ground and I can feel traction through the back of the neck. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift those arms up into the sky. And then lower and touch the elbow to the floor. Lift those arms up. Lower and touch the elbow down. Lift and hold them high. Now we're going to clench and we're going to lift and lengthen and lift that head off the ground. So we're opening the chest. Now do a bit the cobra. So we pull that chest forward, squeeze those shoulder blades together, clenching with the bum. And we open the chest and then release. Good. So that feeling is extreme, but that, and obviously we're fighting gravity, but those muscles all need to be fired up when we stand up straight. So obviously it's because you're on your tummy, they've got to work a lot harder. Okay, let's do one more of them and then we're going to come up into, have you guys got straps with you by any chance?
No.
No.
Okay, don't worry. Right, so breathing in, breathing out, lengthen those legs away, tighten the thighs, clench the bum, draw the tummy in. Breathing out, lift those hands and forearms, lift those whole arms up into the air, lengthening the legs, lengthen the body so the forehead's pushing away from the toes. And the head's your forehead's about 2 centimeters off the ground. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift those arms up higher and then ease. Lift them up 4 times and ease. 3 and ease. 2, draw that core in. 1, hold them high, clenching harder with the bum. And now stretch the front of the body so you're taking the breastbone towards the front of the mat. Hands up higher, tummies off the floor, bums clenched. Release, lower.
Oh, God.
Oh, lots of noise today. Okay. Okay, breathing in and breathing out. Right, put your hands down by your bottom ribs and we're going to push up and go back into child pose. So breathing in, on the out breath, roll those shoulders up to the ears, up to the sky, pull them down. Clench the bum, draw in the tummy. Push the hands into the floor, lift the upper body up, keep the core strong, and then push those hands down and straighten the arms, keep those shoulders back. Yeah, and then bum in the air and back into child pose. Stretching that back. So release the back from all that back bending. We're just going to have a bit of a forward bend. Okay, come back up onto your, right, sit sideways on the mat. We're going to do a bit of side planking.
Oh.
So sit sideways on the mat. Gosh, doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Right, you're going to drop down onto your elbow and your legs. So I've got my torso in straight, and I've got my elbow under my shoulder. Forearm is on the ground. Spread your fingers for a bit of stability, and you've got your, if you drew a straight line down your spine, it would cut through the middle of your legs here. Okay, so we're going to do side plank onto our knees. So first of all, lengthening the body. So we're going to clench with the underneath of our body and lift up onto the knees. So we lift the hips up into the sky. So you'll feel the tension on the underside of the body. And then you lower down. And then you lift. And then lower. And lift. And lower. Okay, lift and hold it. Now take that top leg straight.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Okay, so you can feel the tension on the hip. And then you lower and you feel a stretch. And then you lift. And then you lower. And then you lift. And then you can challenge it further by sliding that underneath leg straight.
Oh, God.
Oh,
I think my elbows, my shoulder felt as if it was going to dislocate.
Okay, come back up. Right, what did you find, Sarah?
Sorry?
Where, elbow or shoulder?
Shoulder.
Right, so when you're on the floor like this, you've got to, this is the whole stabilizing. You've got to have that shoulder up to the ear, down and back, and in the floor there. You can't let it hunch up because it will be unstable. So let's go onto the other side. So this exercise is stretching the side and it's stabilizing the shoulder. So this is my rougher shoulder, my right side. So I've got, so prepare yourself, you're in a straight line, cutting through there, elbows under the shoulder. So I've got to roll my shoulder backwards and pull it down behind me. So if you want to pull the elbow, if the elbow is too far away, it'll be unstable, it's got to be under you. So this the top of your arm is vertical. So pull that shoulder down and back, and then we lift. So we're challenging against the side muscle strength. Keep that shoulder down and back, lower and drop. So when you drop, don't slump. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift, hold yourself here, put that top leg straight. So my foot's on the floor, Jane. Lower down. Top leg, foot's on the floor. Lift and lower. Keep that shoulder back and down. Lift, hold there. Slide that underneath leg straight.
Ooh, can't do that.
Lower and relax. So this is good to do to get arm strength and stuff building up, because you know, like I said, we dissipated muscle strength as we get older, and you want to be able to get out of the bath and, you know, climb up things. So that's the key with that one. Right. So grab your stick, rest it on your legs. So we're just going to work. So this is also opening the upper body. So have those knees bent. Have those knees bent so that we're not getting involved with the thigh. So just, you can just rest the stick somewhere. I've just got it on my feet. So first of all, so Jane, hold your knees and lift your body forwards and pull onto your middle bottom. Good, Sarah, great. Good, Max, good, Mum. Chest up more, push your chest forward, that's better. And Anne as well. So push, so rather than being like this and lifting your chin up and bending your neck, imagine I've got a hold of you by the scruff of your you know, well, it's not, it's like your bra strap area, your chest. So pulling you up from your boobs, lift your boobs up to the sky, and that then relieves the neck and the head comes up above the body.
Yes.
So lift your chest up, Anne, and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Okay, take hold of your stick, if it's close, hopefully it's close enough. Pop the stick on the thighs here, roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Take that stick out in front of you. Good, pull that stick and touch your chest. Push that stick forward. Can you get your boobs up, Anne? That's better, much better. Pull that stick back to your chest. Push that stick forwards. Push that stick above your head. So make your legs be in a position that they're not restricting your body. I don't mind what they do at the minute. Bring that stick in front of you. If you need to lengthen them a bit, you can do that. If you need to bend them, do that. Bring the stick above the head. Good. Chest up, Anne. Boobs up. Sarah, boobs up. Bring that stick down behind your head. Good. Push the chest up. Push the stick up to the sky. So dabble with it. Bring that stick down. Touch behind your shoulders.
Oh.
Breathing in. Push the stick up high. Chest's up. Jane, boobs up. Mum, boobs up. Bring the stick in front of you. And then relax. And then relax. Yeah, so you're fighting the restrictions, but that's heaps better. But you'll feel it in your thighs and you'll feel it in your lower back, because the upper back, if the upper back is hunched and you're trying to do this, you've got to bend here to get your arms up, because you're still fighting the bend of the upper back. So if you've got all flexibility of that upper back, the lower back's not in tension and the thighs aren't having to work so hard. So it is all about opening that upper back up. So the more of that rolling and what have you can do on your roller or your squishy balls. So moving onto the roller as soon as you can, the quicker this will get better. So rolling those shoulders. Let the stick rest on your thigh there. Hold onto your knees. Pull your chest forward and sit yourself up. Stretch the head to the sky. Seat bones are into the ground. Take hold of the stick and push that stick forward. Breathing in. On the out breath, bring that stick to the chest. Push the stick up to the sky. Bring the boobs up high. So we're opening the chest up as opposed to bending the lower back. Bring the stick behind you. Lift those boobs up. Push the stick up high. Bring the stick onto your chest. Turn from your tummy button to the right. Use that tummy button. Make the tummy button face the screen or face the other way. Turn to the front. Take the tummy button around the other side. Make the tummy button point over that knee. Come round to the front. Turn and take the tummy button pointing over that right knee. Back to the front. Turn it over the left knee. Pulling those elbows back, back to the front. Push that stick into the sky. Bring that stick behind the head, chests up. One more, stick up to the sky. And then down in front of you and get rid of the stick. Breathing in, breathing out, round that back forwards. Pull forward onto your front bottom. And let all those discs and vertebrae stretch. So I've still got my knees open. So my pelvis can tilt forward through the gap here. Sit yourself up nice and tall. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Put the fingers on the floor behind you. Lean back onto your hands. Bring your knees together and push your legs out straight. Pull the toes to your nose. Point the toes away. Push yourself up into it so your arms are straight, so you're bending those wrists. Breathing in on the out breath, push those boobs forwards and the tummy up to the sky and arch, opening that armpit. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. Fill those lungs up with air and lift that chest. Breathing out, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Push up off your fingers. So you come up to vertical, stretching through the palm of your hand. Hands on your legs, reaching all the way down towards those feet. Sitting up nice and tall, bring your arms up horizontal. And then lower yourself all the way down to flat. All the way down. Bring the right knee into the chest. Hug that knee in. Pull that knee over your body and push that right hand away. Push that right hand away. Push that right shoulder flat on the floor. Breathing in. Breathing out, extending. And then rolling onto that left hand side. Take this right foot in the right hand. Roll that right shoulder up to the ear, back and down. Clenching with the tummy. And pull that right knee behind your body, then push that right foot into the hand. Breathing in and breathing out. Release the push and extend that leg further behind you, stretching through that hip flexor. Stretching from all that forward bending, and then release. Roll back onto your back. Straighten that right leg out straight. Pull that left knee in. Pull that left knee in towards your armpit. And pull that left leg all the way over your body, turning your eyes to the left. Breathing in, breathing out. Push that left hand away, push that shoulder down. And then roll onto the right hand side. Take hold of this left foot in the left hand, roll the shoulder up to the ear, down and back. Clenching with the tummy, clenching with the bum. Push that foot into the hand and let the knee extend behind the center line. Push that foot into the hand. And then breathing in on the out breath, release the push and extend that leg further behind, stretching through that hip flexor. And then release that leg, roll back onto your back. Pull the left knee in, pull the right knee in, lift the tailbone up off the ground. Get that neutral spine, pop the toes on the floor, extend the legs out straight. Breathing in. On the out breath, fingers to the sky, chin into the chest, and roll yourself all the way up to sitting. Gliding forward, so you're reaching over those feet. Yeah, gliding forward, so you're reaching over those feet. Come back up to vertical. Pop your fists on the floor beside your bum. Push the fists into the ground and lift yourself up and let your bottom just swing. Rest your bum on the ground. Roll those shoulders. Big circles with those arms. Sweep the floor. All the way up, big circles. All the way down, sweep the floor. All the way up, palms together. Push those hands straight up into the sky. Push those knees down into the floor. Big breath in, lift that chest up. Breathing out, release those arms. Rest them on your legs. And roll your shoulders.
And then collapse.